Today in LEGO, I did a live stream working on a set that I just finished and I want to share with you. This, of course, is the LEGO Ideas CUSO NASA Mars Science Laboratory Curiosity Rover. Try saying that once. Since I don't have the box, I guess we'll have to use Brickitect and all their crazy ads to show this off to you, but this is 21104 is the set number. Came out way back in the day, just after my 2-decade dark age from LEGO back in 2014, and originally sold for $30. And from what I remember from this set, it wasn't super readily available, like I've never seen it anywhere, and what's held me back from getting it in real life is the price of it. This is a $120 set, and I was like, dude, there's no way this is worth that. It's particularly after you build it and realize just how small it is. Like, you can see my hand in relation to this. For some reason, when I saw the box of this, or when I saw it like this, it just seems so much bigger, but now I can see that it's not. I mainly built this just using pieces from my collection. There were only a few pieces that I had to order on Bricklink. These pieces right back here under these gold things, for some reason I didn't have those, and then this dreaded piece right here on both sides of this that works for the suspension. That came out of this set. And those parts, as I mentioned in a previous video, these are over $8 each. And I, of course, didn't have those, so I bought this set specifically for those parts to put onto this. And they're there. Are they overly necessary? I don't know. I'll show you how this thing works. Oh, I should mention, I did a little customizing to this. As I mentioned to the people in the live stream, you see this base here where it has the tan and like the gray rock? Yeah, I don't see that back there. So I did my own in the alternate color scheme. I did orange and dark red, and I think that looks a lot better. So if you're looking at this on display, I just think that looks good. So you could decide to do that. If you want to be authentic and keep it the way it's supposed to be, you could do it that way. I just don't think it looks as nice. But here is the Curiosity Rover. It's got a lot of function to it. Don't ask me anything about what all these instruments are on here. I'm sure there's probably somebody out there that's just obsessed with this and knows everything about it. I just think it's a cool looking Lego set, and I liked it because of like how it's Rover nature, how it goes over things, which I'll demonstrate for you right now. As I'm looking at this, I think I realize why I like this so much. It's not just because of the motion like this. It's because this model reminds me of Johnny Five from Short Circuit. It just came to me. I think it's the same reason that I love WALL-E too. If you haven't seen the movie Short Circuit, it's an oldie but a goodie, and it's about this robot that has a ton of personality. Anyways, believe it or not, I was expecting to make this as a short. It was just going to be like, today in LEGO, I built this. There's no way that I could ever fit this into something that's less than a minute, but here you go. Going over this, you can see how it just rolls right over that. And I imagine that's very much how this works in real life. I just almost knocked his head over. Johnny Five, not alive. Okay, no one knows what I'm talking about, but here you go. It goes over that, looking good. That piece that I spent all that money on is doing its job right there. I'll get you right in there. You got to see this. Look at that piece doing its thing. Is it necessary though? Like, does that even need to be on there? I guess so, because it's kind of enabling that to happen. But this kind of moves independently. You can move that around. You can come on this side and do the same thing. Like, this is very symmetrical, but you've got this. I'm assuming that's a camera there. You got this little thing that moves. There's all kinds of stuff all over this. This in the back was really cool. It kind of reminds me of like a stinger from a bee. And I'm sure no one's ever described this set the way that I am, but that's what makes this special, right? It's a very unique take on things that are happening in the world of LEGO, for me at least. You can just roll this around and stuff. I like this build. As I mentioned, it seems a little small. I know they're coming out with like a new one that's kind of awesome. In fact, I'll bring it up here since we have the technology to do so. The new one's the Perseverance Rover, but take a look at that compared to this. It's quite the next level. And in terms of pricing, this comes out on August 1st. $100 for Perseverance. Unless you have some type of attachment to Curiosity, I think this is a much better buy. Unless you can build it like I did, where you just use all the pieces from your collection. There's nothing too crazy in here, other than that silly part right there. Am I going to keep this build on display? Probably not, mostly because I need to steal those pieces to build this, and I think I'm ended up liking this quad bike better. I don't know. I guess I'll have to report back on another Today in LEGO, but this is the Curiosity Rover. I'm going to be honest and say that I'm kind of underwhelmed by it. Kind of unimpressed by it. Maybe it would be more special if like I knew more about it. If some of this is just coming from ignorance, like anybody watching this could name all these parts and things, but I imagine it's somewhat accurate, and the person that designed this I'm sure did a fantastic job. But from a LEGO model perspective, and for what it cost or would cost to buy, I'm talking about these prices. There's it new, but if you bought this back when it came out, it was $30. So that would have been very fair. The new one at 100, I think it's worth it for that, you know, because you're getting a lot more bang for your buck, if you will. But I'm gonna give this like a 5 out of 10, I guess, if we're gonna actually score things. 5 out of 10 for me. Harsh review, harsh critic, maybe, but that is my honest reaction after having the experience of building this and having it on display here. It's just meh. It's just a meh.